For years, migrating to Tasmania felt like an open door, but on March 13, 2026, that door slammed shut. Migration Tasmania overhauled their skilled migration program to address a massive processing backlog, replacing low-barrier entry with strict priority tiers. The first major change affected the Subclass 190, a permanent state-nominated visa that grants immediate residency. Invitations for this pathway have been completely paused for the majority of applicants. This chart shows the point requirements for the Subclass 491, a provisional visa that requires you to live and work regionally before you can apply for permanent residency. On March 13th, the minimum requirement for an invitation jumped from 40 points to 301. 301 points is the new floor for the Green Pass category, a priority level that now dictates who is eligible for a nomination. For those who submitted a registration of interest, the ROI used to enter the state selection pool, expecting a 40-point invitation, that pathway is closed for the remainder of the 2025-2026 program year. If you built your entire life or career around that old 40-point target, you now face a choice: write off the time and money you've already spent, or find a way to clear this new statistical hurdle. The difficulty of this jump is compounded by a rapidly closing window. Tasmania was allocated 1,850 total nomination spots for the 2025 to 2026 year. As shown on this tracker, those spots are being issued as we approach the June 30th deadline. Tens of thousands of applicants currently have an ROI in the system that no longer meets the minimum criteria for an invitation. You are now forced into a specific trade-off. You either stay and work toward a higher local salary in Tasmania, or you relocate to a state with a different points matrix. Navigating this requires mapping your profile against the three primary priority tiers. Tasmania's priority tiers start at the bottom with the Orange Pass, representing priority scores below 250. This includes profiles with base-level connections or low local salaries. Under current settings, this group is ineligible for both the 190 and 491 visas. An Orange Pass ROI currently has zero statistical chance of being selected for an invitation before the end of the program year. For those in this category, the most viable path to a visa now lies outside of Tasmania. The middle tier is the Green Pass, requiring between 250 and 999 priority points. You need employment in an ANZESCO skill level 1 to 3 role, occupations requiring higher qualifications, and a salary of at least $57,000 a year. Meeting these requirements makes you eligible for the provisional 491 visa. However, Green Pass holders are currently excluded from the permanent 190 visa pathway. Local workers here face a specific trade-off. They have a path to stay in the state, but they must accept the conditions of a temporary visa rather than immediate permanent residency. At the top is the Gold Pass, for applicants with 1,000 priority points or more. This tier is comprised of specialized local professionals in priority sectors and offshore applicants applying from outside Australia. These applicants receive the highest priority and exclusive access to the remaining 190 permanent visa spots. The March 13th rule changes actually favor this group. By halting invitations for lower-tier applicants, the state has effectively removed the competition for the remaining nomination spots. For those applying from offshore, the path to permanent residency in Tasmania remains unchanged and fully accessible. There is a way to bypass the state's points-based priority system entirely. This is the Skills in Demand, or SID, visa. Unlike the 190 or 491, which rely on state nomination and points tests, the SID is a direct employer-sponsored pathway. To qualify, you need an employer sponsor at a minimum salary of $76,515. This pathway offers protection from changing state migration rules, but it ties your visa status directly to your ongoing employment with that specific sponsor. For professionals who meet the salary threshold, moving to an employer-sponsored model removes the uncertainty of the state selection process. To determine your next move, you must answer a series of specific filtering questions. First, are you currently offshore? If yes, you are in the Gold Pass category. You should wait for a 190 invitation. If you are onshore, do you earn at least $57,000 in a level 1 to 3 occupation? If yes, you are eligible for a 491 visa. If not, can you find an employer to sponsor you at $76,500? If yes, the Skills in Demand visa is your route. If you cannot meet these thresholds, you should target South Australia, Western Australia, or Queensland instead. Following this strict logic is the only guaranteed way to secure a state nomination before the current program year officially ends. For applicants in that final category, inaction is the greatest risk to your residency. States like South Australia and Western Australia are still holding regular invitation rounds for profiles that Tasmania is currently ignoring. Waiting for the 2026-2027 program year to begin in July carries no guarantee that Tasmania will lower these thresholds, especially as national competition for places continues to rise. In 2026, state criteria are moving faster than processing times. Waiting for a policy reversal that may not happen often results in missing the windows that are still open elsewhere.